Got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole wide world in your hands. You got the... Hello, this is Barad again from Palmistry Unplugged. And today we'll continue our talk about the secondary lines and also special markings in the hand of what we can get to. One secondary line that I did not speak about before was the line of Mars. And you can see that in the diagram there. That's a line that runs along with the lifeline. And it can be seen as a secondary lifeline. But basically it's showing that there's been some extra strength that is there, some extra power that is there. And sometimes it's used, this energy that the line of Mars has, it's used to negate some of the psychic energy that might be in a person's collective, in a person's sphere, psychic sphere. Or actually, it's also seen as an indication of spiritual help or spiritual beings, spiritual helpers that are around the person. So when somebody can have more than one line of Mars, it means that the person has more than one spiritual helper around. So that is what is classically seen. And I find that to be basically true. And people who have line of Mars usually do have strong spiritual helpers there, or that are around them, angels, or what you want to call it. And very often the line of Mars, it was before old lifeline, and then the new lifeline has grown. A person has gone onto a higher consciousness, a higher awareness, but there remains that old lifeline, and it does represent extra power that can be there. That's why it's Mars. Mars, it does represent power. So that's a line of Mars. Now we're going to get into different aspects of the hand. There's two special markings which I like to talk about. One is the Via Lassica, and again now you can see again in the diagram. The Via Lassica is a semicircle line that sort of begins somewhere under the Mount of Mercury, and then it sort of arcs its way down into the lunar area. And it's classically known to give the person a lot of sensitivity, a lot of clairvoyance, a lot of intuition. And it took me many years before I saw a Via Lassica. And when the first time I did see somebody with a Via Lassica, they were a professional Rolfa, deep massage person. And they were sort of sensitive, clairvoyant, I wouldn't really say, but they were sensitive. And I have seen it another time where also the person was kind of sensitive but not really clairvoyant. And a few times that people had no clue about being intuitive or being clairvoyant at all. So I don't know if it was just latent within them and it was hidden. So I did suggest that they explore that part of their being. Perhaps they've been focusing on their logic, their left brain, and they haven't been focusing so much on the intuition, or it's been squashed in the childhood or something like that. But so it doesn't automatically say to me, if somebody has a Via Lassica, that they are intuitive, or clairvoyant. A few times people have been medical intuitives, whereas they look at you and they touch you and they can tell you what's wrong. That I found to be, there's been a few like that. Okay. Now another special marking in the hand is the mystic cross. Now also this is a line or a symbol or a marking that I have really seen, because what it means, there is this X and it needs to go between the heart line and the head line, and it needs to start and end exactly on the heart or the head line, or the heart and the head line. And if it's not a mystic cross. Several years ago, I did find a few people that had mystic cross, and again, they weren't intuitive, they weren't clairvoyant, it. So I'm, at least in my subculture, the people that I meet, I don't get such a great confirmation about these two markings, whereas other people in other parts of the world, where, who knows, Chinese people might have it, so where that's more true. So those are things that you always see in palmistry books, but actually I haven't I haven't confirmed that or seen that there's a great high probability with it. You know what I've seen people with a high probability of is when there's a triangle formed with the lifeline, the headline, and then the line of liver and the lifeline. So when that forms a triangle, people I have found are intuitive. And clairvoyant could be sensitive. They're sensitive clairvoyants. But actually the most prominent indication of clairvoyance or psychic ability is when actually the moon is developed. So when you see a bump on the moon, you see the moon is a raised figure or area in the hand, then you know that person's going to be sensitive. So that is the most accurate of all the indicators that I've seen in this world. Now, what do I want to continue with? Now this side of the palm, this far side of the moon area is a health area. So when that is clear and you don't see any marks on it, that's a good situation. That's showing good health. So I am looking to see if a person has a lot of lines there, a lot of little lines there or not. If you see a person who is chronically ill and has been for some time, you will see that this part of the palm is deeply edged. You'll see ridges here. And that's really an indication of chronic illness. So what you see more in normal people is you'll see small little lines. And they indicate potential weakness in the internal organs. So starting from a little bit below the heart line, you have liver, spleen, gallbladder, or gallbladder, spleen, and then kidneys. So if you're seeing markings in those areas, then there is some potential weakness in the organs. Whether that's actually manifesting is another story. So I do look between the left and the right hand. If the left hand, you see that there's a lot of markings there that you show they were born with some potential weaknesses in their organs. And then I look at the right hand and see, has that cleared up or has it gotten worse? So if it has cleared up, it shows that the person is living a good lifestyle. Whatever they're conducive to their lifestyle and their health. If it's getting worse or remaining the same, not. And then if not, then I am suggesting these people they change their lifestyle if they want to improve their health, because later on you might be 30, 35 years old, but when you're 60, 70, you're going to see the effects of it. So I do recommend people for that. And it's pretty accurate. Health indicators in the hand are pretty accurate. There's one line there that's a sort of straight horizontal line that's coming like over here a little bit, 3/4 of the way down the moon area. This is called the poison line, and again, this is accurate, or allergy line. It means that there's something in the environment that the person is taking in that is not good for them. And so it could be anything. It could be they're wearing too tight underwear or something, or wearing too tight of a bra, which now comes out that could be a major cause of breast cancer in women. So this is something to look at and to show. Below that, we have what they call the classical travel lines, which I don't pay that much attention to because they're not so relevant as they were, let's say, 100 years ago or 200 years ago. Let's say if you've gone from London to Sydney, that's a 6 months journey, so travel lines would be much more significant indicator in the hand than they are now when you can just get on a plane and some hours you're there. So, but I do sometimes, somebody has a lot of travel lines, I am saying that, I am telling you that. Okay, so this is Bharat, and this is Palmistry Unplugged, and you can download my book or subscribe to my channel, whatever, or have a nice day. So I'll see you later on the next clip. All right, thank you very much.
Got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole wide world in your hands. You got the whole